So the last portion of this is dealing with the linear and nonlinear conditions. It speaks about how one as a leader can understand that there will always be um, nonlinear conditions, almost like at the brink of this chaos, and they're always constantly coming. It also shows, in my book, a video of a team of teachers getting together, and they're speaking about different aspects of their sixth grade class. And then there are nonlinear things that are happening. For example, they speak about kids being tardy. Um, and so what they're doing is trying to figure out ways to fix that, to control it. And then they said they're going to have Saturday school as a result if they're tardy for a certain amount of time. And so it just kind of talks about how these nonlinear things are always there. And when you're leading, that it's important um, to make sure that you understand that they always will be there, and then you have to deal with them um, as you can, and they will affect the linear things that you have that go on in the building, right? So as leaders, we do have to be aware of those things. I think overall, just looking at if your management style is more of the scruffy style, you do have to make sure you remember that there are linear and nonlinear structures, or yeah, I guess I'd say structures. And then you want to make sure that some things will be tight and some things will be loose. So you have that flexibility to be able to lead and to be able to make decisions and not feel like you're spending so much time on certain things. It also talks about ordinary and extraordinary commitment and performance. And so as we talk about how leaders um, continue on in this process, we must realize that there are two reasons why these traditional management theories have limits. It's not going to be able to catapult you to where you're going to go, and it doesn't have like a maximum, right? So we must realize that rules, mandates, procedures, regulations, and things like that, that they are examples of formal expectations. They're examples of bureaucracy and authority. And so this is just something to just set a standard, but it's the minimum, right? So you want to make sure you remember that that's why traditional management theories don't push us to where we need to be. The second part of that is that they want you to understand. First reason, the second reason. They want you to fully understand why these traditional management theories and practices are not, um, because we have to rely on also our human relation skills. I mean, we can't just look at theories and just not reflect on how we are as humans and what our teachers need and what you know the teachers need is more important than necessarily the compliance section. And that's the same thing with our students. And then our students are more, our teachers are more motivated to respond for outside reasons rather than to be motivated from within. And so I think that um, these personal authorities and bureaucratic authorities are on the outside. Sometimes that helps the teachers to be more motivated. But again, um, you know, going back on relying our human relationships with people is more important. Uh, but emphasizing this is that traditional management theories with its periodic roots is heavily biased towards standardized and routine. Um, and there could be other biases within that as well. Let's remember that sometimes when we look at success, we're looking at it from an Anglo-Saxon perspective. And when you have instances as well where it is maybe majority immigrant school or majority African American, or it's in a different region of the world, those particular practices may not work for the school that you're in. And so we have to keep that in mind as we look at these theories. We can't just say this is the best practice and you have to do it. We have to be flexible as principals, as leaders, as teachers as well, to make sure that we do hit success and not just hit the minimum. We want to go beyond the minimum in general, and I think God has called us to go beyond the minimum, and that's the final portion of this chapter. Thank you.